Hey guys, so today we're going to be combining like terms and using the distributive property with decimals. So just like our normal rules that we use for combining like terms and the normal rules we've been using for distributive property are going to be used, we're just adding in decimals. So since there are no parentheses here, we are not going to be using the distributive property. So we are going to start with our combining like terms. What I like to do is make shapes around my like terms. So 2s squared plus, and then our 1 5/10 s squared are like terms. And then I have -3 and my 5/10 that are also like terms. Since my s squares are both positive numbers, we are going to just add them. So 2 and 1 and 5/10 is going to add to be 3 and 5/10 s squared. And then I have a -3 and a positive 5/10, so I'm going to actually subtract them to get -2 and 5/10. So I no longer have any more like terms, and like I said, we did not have to distribute, so my expression is simplified. All right, guys, the next problem that I'm going to jump to is problem number 4, and I know that the hole punch kind of cut off the problem, so I'm going to pause the video real quick and add in what's missing, but it is the same length as the other side that you can see clearly. Okay, so since this is a square and all of the sides are the same, it's asking you to find the perimeter. There's really two ways that you can do this problem, so I'm going to show you both. And just because I don't have a whole lot of space, I'm going to be writing on top of the square. But the first way that you could do it is, since you know that each side is 6/10 r minus 2 and 5/10, you could take this expression, trying to make my decimals a little bit darker, you could take this expression and just multiply it by 4 because all 4 sides are the same length. Once you set it up this way, you can just distribute like we have been doing. So you would do 4 times 6/10 r and then 4 times 2 and 5/10. So 4 times 6/10 r would give me 2 and 4/10 r, and then 4 times 2 and 5/10 would give me 10, and then put that subtraction sign still in the middle. So this would be my final answer. Now I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to show you the second way that you can do this, which is listing out all of the sides and combining like terms. Okay, so I would just write my first side plus my second side, which is the same, plus my third and fourth. Because remember, perimeter is adding up all of the sides together. Okay, so I went ahead and listed out everything. After you do that, then you would, shape up your like terms, including the sign that is in front of it. So I circled on my r's, then I can square all of my constants, and then I would add them. So if I add 6/10 4 times, then I would get my 2.4 or 2 and 4/10 r. And then if I repeatedly add 2 and 5/10, -2 and 5/10, I would get my 10. So you get the same answer either way. I think the faster way is probably to set it up as the distributive property, but it is kind of your choice. Just wanted to show you both ways. Okay, the last two I'm going to do with you are number 5 and 6, and the reason that I'm kind of jumping around here is just so I can show you a variety of problems. So starting with number 5, it's very similar to number 1. There are no parentheses, so we are not going to distribute here, so you just need to shape up or list out your like terms. And then once you do that, you would add or subtract them. So my -5 and 8/10 and my positive 2 3/10, since the signs are different, we're actually going to subtract them, which would give me negative 3 5/10. And then if I'm looking at my negative 5 2/10 A and my positive 5 3/10 A, the signs are also different, so we are still going to subtract, and that would give us negative 1/10 A. And this is as simplified as we can get because there are no more like terms. Okay, so now if you're looking at number 6, we do have those parentheses, so we are going to have to distribute first. So we are going to take this negative 4/10 and distribute it into the parentheses here. So we would do negative 4/10 times 5 5/10, which would give us 2 2/10. Then we would do 4/10 times 3/10, which would give us a positive 1 2/10 K. Okay, again, it's positive because we have this negative being distributed to this negative. Okay. Oop. And actually, that just made me notice that this should be a negative 2 2/10. Then I need to just bring down my K, and then I would combine like terms. So I've got a K here and a K here. Remember, there is an imaginary 1 that is in front of that first K. So when we combine like terms, we've got a positive 1K and a positive 1 2/10 K. So when we add them together, we should get 2 2/10 K. And then since the negative 2 2/10 does not have a like term, we would just rewrite. Okay, so this is as simplified as it gets. There are no more like terms, so you are done. I would like for you now to go back and do number 2, number 3, number 7, and number 8 on your own, and then check the key. So just remember, you need to distribute first and then combine like terms when you're simplifying these expressions.